All right. Good morning. Good morning. One good thing. Let's hear it. Alex.
Good morning. Good morning. Showed a house yesterday.
Sold a house yesterday. When you sell a house, that's a good thing.
Oh, showed out. Showed out.
Oh, showed a house. Showed a house. Is it just me or did it sound like he said I sold a house?
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard that too.
You heard it too? Okay.
Yeah.
Just not me. Okay. All right. It sounded like you said I sold it.
I'm putting it out there, maybe.
All right. Good. I like it. Showed a house. You're in motion, baby. All right, Jesse. One good thing.
Had a really good evening follow-up session last night.
Oh, really? Why is that?
I caught somebody at the right time and they were like, perfect timing. I'm getting ready to take a look at more properties for investments.
Okay.
So,
What bucket were they out of?
follow-up. It's just one on my calendar that I.
No, I mean like Mojo, Boomtown, Brivity, where they, huh?
Mojo.
Mojo. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. All right. So a little bit of that evening, that alternative prospecting hours. Okay. Because we're so heavy in the morning, few evenings or a weekend session. It may not all the time, but sometimes scheduling it. I love it. Good. I'm glad you got a little taste of that. Because my theory and philosophy sometimes needs to be backed up by actuality. So I'm glad that you experienced that. Christian, one good thing.
Great conversations yesterday. And I was able to have that meeting that I was
Oh, yeah.
yeah. So
Okay,
that's a good thing. Yeah.
Perfect. Excellent. I look forward to hearing that afterwards. Awesome. Dom, one good thing.
I earned about 3 nurtures yesterday, and 2 of them were really interesting because I didn't expect them to be nurtures. They were phone calls that were actually bad numbers. So
Phone calls that were bad numbers turned into nurtures. I like it.
yeah,
One of them was the tenant who used to rent the property, and then that's a nurture, a buyer nurture, right?
yeah. They're looking to buy. So
Yeah. Look, the more I put in the oven, the more opportunities there's going to be, right?
yeah,
We're seeing the dividends of that now from last year. All the work we did last year, guys. Like, it's happening now this year. Okay, and it's only going to compound. Okay, so get ready because we're going to run. All right, Z, what you got? One good thing.
I have a listing coming up this year. That was the new thing yesterday.
This year or soon?
This year, it's going to be pendant on when he gets his orders to leave.
Oh, okay. Military. Good. I like it. Banking it. What you got, Kim? One good thing.
I got my listing under contract yesterday.
Woo! How many days on market?
Went on Friday morning. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday.
Did you go over?
We went over, yeah.
Nice. Congrats. What's price point?
600s.
600s. Nice. Okay. In your farm or outside?
No, in Millwood.
In Millwood? Gotcha. Other side of the tracks?
Other side of the track.
All right, here we go. So objection handling today. Why don't we freestyle it a little bit on I'm thinking a little think feel, maybe some conversation around personality types, paying attention to. Alex, have you begun your personality type homework?
Maybe.
Was that what?
No.
Okay. Look, get on that, man. All right. Why is that important, Jesse?
So you can communicate at the same level or the same language as them.
Same language, same level. Okay. So how about what's that mean to you, Kim, as far as personality types and your paying attention to it?
it helps further the conversation and develops trust and rapport. So if you are dealing with a high D, for example, and you're not talking to them on their same communication wavelength, then you may not get very far in the conversation with them, and ultimately you won't set a good solid appointment.
Yeah. I like it. This is a constant reminder and refresher. So even look, 6 months ago, I think, Rado, Jesse, remember Rado? Yeah. Well, we took that listing that was ended up selling mid fives, right? But he had a primary for right around $1 million, pretty close to $1 million. I lost that listing because I overestimated the personality type of the wife. I took her for granted a little bit, and I thought she was high D. And there were some other circumstances that I won't get into in regards to why I thought she was high D. But I miscalculated the personality type, and I got a little too comfortable, and I hurt her feelings. Mm-hmm. And she didn't go with me because we were under contract. We talked about listing the primary. We got closer to it, and she didn't hire me because I overestimate. I thought she was high D. She wasn't. And look, even with D's and C's, they have feelings, right? D's are more think C's. They're more logic oriented than emotion oriented. And when you're talking to somebody about their house, it's still their house, right? Which is different than and that's where I made the mistake, Kim, is that we were talking about her investment property, like an investment property. And then when we got to the primary, I was a little too honest. And that didn't work. I lost the listing, $1 million listing.
Well, look, I feel like that's hard. You nail down the primary contact that you're talking with, and you get on their level and you're talking to them in the same, and the spouse always seems to be a wild card.
Yeah.
Because sometimes they're quiet. They're totally quiet through the whole thing, and then they show up and they're like, well, what do you mean? Like, sometimes their personalities don't show up at all, and the husband or the wife is talking to them about your relationship, and something rubs them the wrong way. So that's a hard one to, I think sometimes that's a hard one to overcome. It's just naturally difficult.
Well, I think it's also a reminder on not just personality types, Alex, is what personality type am I dealing with? What personality type am I, so that I can better understand how I'm communicating to the maybe different personality type. Because if it's a similar personality type, I can just be me. But if it's not a similar personality type, I need to be a little bit more careful as far as how I tread, because I could end up losing the business. I could end up being misinterpreted, or communicate in a way that's not as well received, and that this is real estate based on relationships. Okay, we all say that, right? And this is a little micro relationship, right? My ability to connect with people and keep connecting with them through the process, because I have to, as much as I have to encourage them on the front end, Jesse, which is, I just reminded, I didn't get a hold of somebody last night that I said that I was going to get a hold of. Okay. As much as I need to encourage them and give them not praise, but encouragement. Encouragement is just the right word, right? My ability to encourage somebody on the front end, I'm going to have to encourage them through the process and figuring out what that encouragement may look like based off of their personality type, because she needed encouragement, that one that I lost, right? She needed encouragement that, hey, it's okay. You did the best that you could. There's a lot of memories here. And while there's work that needs to be done and strategy that needs to be talked about in regards to how we price based off of the condition, that, that this is good and you did a good job and you did your best. And as human beings, like, what that boils back down to, Kim, is that's acceptance again. Acceptance. Like, we're constantly needing it as human beings. Constantly. Right. So how am I continuing to provide encouragement and figuring out, is it because they're scared? They're reluctant because of the sales process. It's their personality type. Alex, to get them to the appointment. Okay, we talk about providing, being clear with value and providing value for the appointment. But have I encouraged? Right? Have I really put this in a light of, hey, this is good, and this is good for you, and this is how it's good for you. Because remember who we are. We're salespeople. We're strangers. That's how they see us initially, until they're in our sphere, Kim, right? And they're in the bucket, and we've earned our trust. But that's the point, is that we're still in process. Don't forget who you are to them initially. I'm a salesperson. I'm a stranger, and you haven't earned it yet. And you're still earning it through the process, even through contract. You ever have that go wrong way? And then it's done, right, Jesse? We're not going to say names. And we're done, and we're like, oh, let's just get away from each other and never talk to each other ever again. Okay. What was it there as far as maybe any lessons on personality type with that person who you know I'm talking about?
I should have taken control a lot sooner in the process and kind of dominate authority, just because I let them drive me around. So I was going, crazy, seeing them. And then once we got under contract, they were still not really listening to what I was suggesting or consulting them with.
Yeah.
So
what type of personality type were they?
C, but high C, but D.
High C with a good streak of D. And what personality type are you?
C.
C with a streak of what?
C. What's the friend or
S.
Yes, yeah.
Yes. I'm glad you know that. Thank you. Okay. You're a nice guy. You're a nice guy, but you're very analytic. Okay. And so Jesse let this guy run all over him. Now, in all fairness, it was Jesse's first deal, and it was a big deal. So he was like, every little inch was kind of freaking out a little bit. Okay. Kim, any recollection in regards to a good lesson on personality type recently or in the near past that you experienced on personality type that maybe it was a lesson or something that you benefited from?
I would say I lost $1 million plus sale last year because of what you were talking about. I had the primary contact was the husband. I met him at an open house. We had good rapport. I was showing houses. Everything was fine. They went under contract. The wife came in from out of town, and she and I did not get along at all. And it was
What do you attribute that to?
I honestly don't know. I don't know if she didn't like how I looked, or that I was a woman, or it could be a million things.
Yeah.
Right? She just didn't like me from the beginning. And I had taken control of the situation, and I wasn't allowing her to push me around. And the advice that I was giving to her, I think she was a very unethical person to begin with. And the advice I was giving her were not in line with her values.
Ah, gotcha.
And ultimately I decided to fire them.
Good.
And I have since learned how to do that differently to protect myself. But she went back under contract on the same house.
Oh, yeah.
2 weeks later with a Redfin agent. So
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know that there was anything that could have been done differently there. I wish I had handled the breakup differently so that I protected myself.
Protected yourself. Yeah. Well, look, we're not going to like everybody. Everybody is not going to like us. Okay. And one thing that I learned from my wife really well is if she wanted to, like, she could be like one of the best agents out there. She really could. She could be way better than me because she's just so good at dealing with people. Was that when people were, it happened yesterday, Jesse, remember when we walked into that walkthrough and that property we walked yesterday, and the people, I told you that I made a joke because I said, hey, y'all. Now you guys know I'm New York, right? So like, hey, y'all is like not in my vernacular, right? That's just not something I say. But know your crowd, right? So I'm talking to the homeowner, and the some friends or family are there, and I picked up, Kim, right away. I picked up on their body language. Their body language is like, who the hell is this guy? Right away, I saw it on their facial expressions, and I got a little up and down, and if you're paying attention. If you're paying attention to people's facial expressions and their body language, like they're talking to you, 55% of communication is body language. And the communication was, who the hell is this guy? Which is why I immediately shot out the, hey, y'all. And I looked him right in the eye, Jesse, right? And then the goal was, and I shot out a big smile. I looked at everybody to make sure everybody understood I was looking at them and acknowledging them, indirectly respecting them. Now, I don't know the personality types, right? But the thing is that when I'm part of understanding personality types is breaking through so that I can make better connections, so that I can serve more people. And so paying attention. Okay, because will it always work? No. And what am I going to do to be more intentional about connecting with people? Because look, who am I? I'm a salesperson. I'm a stranger. And no matter how who you are, how good you look, how professional you are, what you say even initially, still you have to travel that path, Nancy, of earning their trust. That's why this is important, is because we got to break through these barriers, these stereotypes, because we're all judging. Come on. We're judging them. We're like, she seems cranky. Right?
Yeah.
How's that? Alex, think about that, right? Or look at this old man. Or look at this young kid. Or whatever, right? When at the end of the day, we're all just human beings who want to be accepted and want to be loved. And what am I doing to use a little bit of strategy and a little bit of skill to just connect with them, to just find out. I know VRG, you hear me say this all the time, is just to get to know them, to understand. Can I help them? I can't help them. I don't want to help them. Alex, this ain't about getting people to do what you want them to do. This is about finding out like really what's up and getting past these stereotypes of who we think people are and who they think we are, to be able to connect with them. Haley, you have any stories on personality types that you got the rub on recently?
Yeah, I had an old lady. I'm dealing with the husband and wife, and the mother was moving in with them. She got basically so fed up with me, and I wasn't really even doing anything, but she got so fed up with me, she decided she's no longer moving in the house because the wife took my side versus the mother's, because I submitted an offer at 8:00 when they signed it at 6:30, but it had already been pending on the MLS at 4:30 that afternoon. So even if I did submit it at 6:30, it was already under contract. But the mother she was like that. She's very, I know everything because I've bought and sold 1 million houses in my lifetime, and you are 26 and been doing real estate for whatever. So it was very that, and I had no control over the situation.
Yeah.
We were showing the houses before we had a prequal. Like, I had no control.
Yeah. Okay. So looking back then, what would you have done differently?
I would have sat them down, and my dad told me that too. Like, I needed to set them down and set that expectation. Like, I'm not showing you 1 million houses outside of your price range, just for you to make it work and just take control.
Yeah. Youngsters, newbies, pay attention. I compromise my standards. I compromise my income. And standard is, look, presentation for everybody, period. You may not get the presentation before you show a house. Okay, whatever. You got to go show a house because they called you on it or they're interested in it and you got to head out there. Okay, Kim, we give them a freebie. Everybody gets a freebie if they want it or if the circumstance calls for it. But once we're done with that freebie, the conversation is very clear. We need to sit down. And you should be setting that conversation even before you go out for the freebie. Hey, usually here's how it works. And I'm happy to. And then I'm willing to if you're willing to. It's in the playbook, by the way. I'm willing to if you're willing to. Does that sound fair? Yeah, that sounds fair. Sometimes they lie. But is that really somebody you want to do business with? Probably not. I think, Dom, we were talking about that the other day, right? Somebody are Christian too. Like people are acting a certain way or they're lying. Hey, what if you think they're lying? Well, let them lie and let them go. Let them lie and let them go. There's too many fish in the sea, man. Okay, so you would have sat them down, Haley, and had a better consultation, a better presentation to set expectations, to be able to lead them better.
Mm-hmm. To show my value as like, I'm not just a key opening doors to you.
Yeah.
The other realtor didn't call you back. Now you want to deal with me, and you're not just going to have me driving looking for, because what they were doing was looking at 10 houses and then taking a week to decide.
Yeah.
And by the time they finally decided, like that last house that I was talking about, they decided at 3. I wrote the contract. By the time I wrote the contract, it was already pending.
Yeah.
I didn't notice, but I had showed them that same house 5 days earlier. And I told them, look, guys, now's not the time to take 5 days to decide.
Yeah.
But
I'm not, they think we're real estate Uber when we don't really have a real presentation. And I'm not talking about a conversation, rookies. I'm not talking about a conversation. I'm talking about a real presentation. A real presentation. A full presentation. You can't afford it in this market. This market's too aggressive. It's too fast. You cannot afford it. Anybody that you spend time with has to be on the same page with you 100%. And you need to be on the same page as them 100%. False or true? Everybody say true.
True.
Okay. All right. You need to be on the same page with them. Compromise your standards, compromise your income. And hey, Kim, sometimes I gotta reel them back in the boat. This is for listings too, right? Like we need to sit back down and like talk about what's going on. You know, that conversation's general overall strategy, Jesse, is the same as follow-up. It's the same as follow-up. Where were we? Where are we? Where do we want to go? Where were we? What, you know, where do we start? Where are we right now? And where are we going? That's the framework of the conversation, Kim, is just to get back and like reel them back in and go, whoa. And that may need reinforcing of values or standards or expectations that you set at the appointment. Because sometimes you did it and still, right? Like they're still not following along here.
Some people, especially on the buy side, you can tell them in the initial meeting what the market is doing and how that affects them, as far as multiple offers and overbidding and the levers you can pull in the contract. And they don't understand it until they've experienced it.
Yeah.
So there is sometimes there's a learning curve.
Yeah.
And I've done this, and I've heard of other agents doing this. Clients who continually beat their head against the wall and aren't getting anywhere, you have to stop, show them, here are all the offers you made, and here's where they ended up selling at in how many days.
Good.
Show them with their own, you know, their own activity.
Yeah.
What's going on. And if they still can't get over that intellectual leap, like, then you have to refer them out and let them go so that you can focus on getting listings.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what happened with land. The first contract she didn't go more than 650, but then now she's like, I would have paid 700 for it.
She learned.
Yeah, that only took her one, so she knows.
Yeah, but at least she learned, and at least there's a conversation around it. No, I want to throw one more. Alex, did you have something to say?
Nuts.
Okay, I thought I saw you go like that. Yeah. Okay, so is remember, especially on the comeback where you need to come back and talk about stuff again. or reinforce stuff again. But you guys hear me say this when we're talking about prospecting or presenting, certainly when we're talking about objections, certainly when we're talking about insecurities, doubts, fears that they have. And sometimes it's lashed out on you, like, and you feel like, whoa, they're kind of coming at me. And remember what that is. That's just insecurities, doubts, and fears, and questions in their mind. Okay, is all of this. Somebody said it before. Now I'm remembering. Is I have to be the calm in the storm. Okay, so all my conversation is rooted in being positive and progressive. Now, I'm not talking about ignoring the negative or not, but my language and where I'm taking the tone and the word choices on where we're going is positive. Okay. So whenever something negative comes up or a concern of theirs or it's just not good, then I'll address that. Okay. But and all right, here's where we can go. That could be not enough showings. That could be a bad offer. That could be on either side, right? You're a listing and you haven't been getting offers that are meeting the original expectation. That could be you're a buyer, you're working with a buyer, and they're not coming up to, in your mind, the expectations that need to happen for your ability to secure a property. Okay, where were we? Where are we? Where are we going? And how am I positive and progressive? Positive and moving forward. Okay, you guys got to be the storm. Look, Haley, that's who gets paid the big bucks, because our people ignorant. I'm saying that respectfully. They just don't know things, right? They just don't know any better. Okay, our people tainted by what they see on the internet and TV. Everybody do this. Okay, Nancy. So I have to be the calm in the storm to get them to move forward positively and progressively. Because I'm the lighthouse, man. I'm the lighthouse. I'm bringing the direction as far as where we need to go and what needs to happen. Okay. Final thoughts, comments, questions, concerns? Ahas, takeaways?
Pay attention to personalities because it can help make or break your deal.
Yeah. Look, Alex, put that personality quadrant right up in your prospecting station, man.
Yeah.
Pay attention. And you should be constantly, you're asking yourself, who am I talking to right now? Who am I talking to right now? Who am I talking to right now? You should be constantly assessing that.
Mhm.
One more takeaway. Aha.
Yeah, just like Jesse said, just like pay attention to who you're really talking to. And I mean, maybe you're not going to get it spot on, like they're a high D or, S or whatever. You're not going to get spot on, but like keep it in mind even when you're talking to them for the first couple times, because as me and you have experienced, one wrong sentence and they don't even want to like talk to you anymore. Or like even with that lady, like the whole entire deal falls apart with one little thing that
Yeah.
we like say or do,
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
it's just keeping in mind the way that you like communicate with people.
Right. Because look, if you're high D, or high C, Nancy, and you're not slowing down to really make them feel like you're listening and that you care about what they're saying and that you want to connect with them and it's about understanding, ain't gonna happen. And if you're too caring and too loving and too friendly, Jesse, and you're not picking up the pace of the speed of the conversation and getting to the point faster and being clearer with the value, Christian, that ain't happening either. Hey, you guys go love on some people today. Bring some love, bring some light. See you tomorrow.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks.